He didn't even look for me. That's the thought that plays like a broken record in my head, louder than the waves crashing outside the motel window. Not once, not a call, not a question, not a flicker of panic. I disappeared from his world, and his world didn't even stutter. When they dragged me out of that van, I thought it was the end. The duct tape, the dark, the smell of sweat and gasoline, it was all I knew for days. But the silence that followed? That was worse, because when I was finally free, no one came, not him. Not the man I'd built a life around. The man who said I was his everything. Now I sit in this nameless coastal town, in a room that smells of rust and sea salt, wearing a stranger's sweater. The ceiling fan clicks like a clock that never stops judging. The news plays faintly in the background. His company's stock has risen again. Of course, the headlines still call him a genius, a visionary. They don't know that vision never once turned toward me. I press my palm over my stomach, flat now, empty. My heartbeat doesn't echo against another's anymore. It's strange how silence can weigh more than pain. I used to think love was about grand gestures. Diamonds, promises, dinner under city lights. But when you've been stripped of everything, when fear gnaws through your sanity, you learn the truth. Love isn't in what someone says. It's in whether they come for you when the world falls apart. He didn't. His name still burns on my tongue. Elias. Every time I whisper it, it feels like sin and prayer tangled together. The first night back, I stood outside our glass house, our perfect, sterile home, and watched him through the window. He was on a call, pacing, expression blank, the blue light of his monitor painting his face in shades of apathy. He didn't even glance at the door, didn't feel the shift in the air, didn't sense me standing there like a ghost. So I walked away. I left him a note. Just one line. You lost something you'll never replace. He probably thought it was dramatic, maybe even ungrateful. He didn't know that when they took me, I was already pregnant. He doesn't know I'm not anymore. The memory of that night seeps in through the cracks of my mind. The storm, the way the rain soaked my hair, how I screamed into the dark for help that never came. I remember clutching my stomach, whispering to a heartbeat that couldn't survive in a world this cold. I still dream about the sound of chains dragging across the floor. And sometimes I think I can still smell his cologne, the one I used to press my face into after his late nights at the office. Now that scent feels like betrayal. It's been 6 months. He's probably already rewritten our history, tucked it between board meetings and charity galas. But I can't let it go. Not yet, because before I vanished I saw something I wasn't supposed to. A message. A meeting. A name, and part of me still wonders, did he know? Was it coincidence? Or was it convenient that his wife disappeared when she did? The thought cuts deeper than any wound the kidnappers gave me. I light a cigarette, something I never used to do, and watch the smoke curl toward the ceiling. It looks like ghosts leaving my lungs. I hate the taste, but I need the burn. It keeps me awake, keeps me from calling him. I imagine him now, leaning back in his leather chair, tie loosened, staring at the city from his tower of glass. Maybe he thinks of me sometimes. Maybe he wonders if I ran away. He wouldn't believe the truth. He never believed the small things either, like when I told him I was lonely, even surrounded by everything money could buy. The air hums with memory, with words unsaid. I pick up my phone, scroll through old photos, his hand on my waist. His laugh when he actually let go of work long enough to notice me. For a moment, I almost forget. Then I remember the clinic, the white walls, the sound that never came back after the monitor went still. I exhale, slow and shaking. This isn't the end of our story. No, this is the pause before the reckoning. Because today, for the first time in months, I saw his name appear on the news again. And behind him, a woman, smiling, standing too close, wearing the same diamond bracelet he gave me for our anniversary, and just like that, my grief catches fire. I don't want revenge. Not yet. I want answers. I want to look him in the eyes and see if he still recognizes what he destroyed. I stub out the cigarette, grab my coat, and step out into the salt-stung night. The air is thick, alive, trembling with something that feels almost like purpose. He didn't look for me. But he's about to find me. The city feels foreign now. Too polished, too loud. Every billboard, every car horn, every polished shoe on the pavement screams of the life I used to live and can no longer touch. I shouldn't be here. And yet my feet move like they remember what my heart doesn't trust anymore. Back toward him. The glass tower rises above me, cold and magnificent. The same building where I once brought him coffee, back when he still smiled at me without checking the time. The guards at the front glance up as I pass. No one recognizes me. That's the blessing of being forgotten. You can walk through the ruins of your old life and no one even blinks. The elevator hums as it climbs. My reflection stares back at me in the mirrored walls. Thinner, sharper, eyes that used to hold light now shadowed with purpose. I almost don't recognize her. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the old me couldn't do what I'm about to. When the doors open, his office is exactly as I remember. Expensive silence, curated perfection. The skyline spreads behind him like a throne of glass and steel. And there he is, Elias, my husband, my stranger. He looks up, startled for a fraction of a second before his composure slams back into place like a mask. I can almost hear the click of it settling. Amara, he says. My name sounds foreign in his mouth, too formal, too careful. You're alive, disappointed? The word slips out sharper than I mean it to, but I don't take it back. His jaw tightens. I searched for you. The lie is soft, but I can feel it. Thin as glass, ready to shatter under the weight of truth. No, I whisper. You searched for answers, not for me. For a long, aching moment, we just look at each other. He's still beautiful in that intimidating, controlled way. Tailored suit, dark hair perfectly in place, eyes that used to warm me now scanning me like a threat assessment. I can smell his cologne, and for one reckless second my body remembers what it felt like to be held by him. He breaks the silence first. Where have you been? Somewhere quiet. That's not an answer. Neither is yours. He sighs, rubs a hand over his face, the first crack in his perfect composure. You think I didn't care? I thought you were dead, Amara. Did you? I tilt my head. Because when I came back, I watched you from outside our house. You didn't look like a man mourning his wife. His eyes flicker. Guilt? Anger? It's hard to tell. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You were relieved. That lands like a slap. The silence between us grows heavy, thick with everything we never said. I turn away before my voice trembles. They hurt me, Elias. I begged for you. His breath catches. Don't. No, listen. I begged for you. I told them you'd come. I told them my husband doesn't let go of what's his. He steps closer, so close I can feel the warmth of him at my back. Stop it. I waited, I whisper. And you never came. He grips my arm, gentle but firm, pulling me to face him. His eyes are burning now, stripped of their corporate polish. You don't know what it was like. They sent messages, threats. I couldn't. You couldn't what? Risk your company? Your precious empire. I couldn't lose everything I built. You already did. The words hang between us, trembling. He lets go of me as if burned. For a moment, neither of us breathes. Then I see it. The flicker of something real in his eyes. Regret. Fear. Maybe even love. Buried deep under the weight of ego and guilt. It makes my chest tighten in ways I wish it didn't. He runs a hand through his hair, voice rougher now. What happened to you out there? I survived, I say softly. That's all that matters. But that's not true, and we both know it. His gaze drops, scanning me, lingering a heartbeat too long. You're thinner. And you're colder, I murmur. That earns a ghost of a smile, sad and sharp. Still cruel when you're hurt. Still blind when you're guilty. He exhales, almost a laugh, then steps closer again, slower this time, measured. Tell me what you want from me. My throat tightens. You really don't know? He shakes his head. No. I reach into my bag, pull out the folded note I left him the night I walked away. It's worn now, creased and faded, but his eyes widen the moment he sees it. I meant every word, I whisper. He opens it, reads the line. You lost something you'll never replace. When he looks up, I can see realization dawn like a wound tearing open. His voice drops to a whisper. Amara, were you... Don't say it. You were pregnant? The silence that follows is a scream. His face drains of color. My God. Not anymore, I say softly. And before you ask, no, it wasn't the kidnappers, it was me. I made that choice. He staggers back a step as if the air itself has punched him. I don't flinch. I've already lived the pain he's only beginning to taste. The room feels too small now, filled with ghosts and unsaid things. He's staring at me like I've turned into something both sacred and untouchable. Why? He finally breathes. I meet his eyes, and for once I don't look away. Because you already killed what was left of me. The words break him. I can see it. His control crumbling, the CEO fading, leaving only the man who once loved me but forgot how to show it. Then the door bursts open. His assistant, wide-eyed. Sir, you need to see this now. He glances at me, torn. Go, I say. You're good at that. He hesitates. Then he leaves. Just like before. And as the door shuts, I feel the storm rising again. Not outside, but inside. Because this time I didn't come to beg. I came to finish what he started. The moment the door closes behind him, the silence collapses around me like glass. I can still feel him in the air. His scent, his warmth, the pulse of everything we didn't say. He left again. Of course he did. Some things never change no matter how deep you cut them. I turned toward the window, watching the city below. His city. The skyline he built from ambition and sleepless nights. Somewhere down there, people are falling in love, losing it, fighting for it. And I'm up here, trying to remember what it felt like to be wanted without condition. My reflection in the glass looks haunted. My lips tremble. My hands won't stay still. When you spend months learning silence in captivity, you start hearing things that aren't there. Like the echo of a heartbeat that no longer exists. The door opens again. He's back. His tie is gone, the buttons of his shirt undone, his face pale and strained. He looks less like a CEO now, more like the man who used to read me poetry in bed when he thought no one would ever know. He shuts the door behind him and leans against it, watching me. For a moment, neither of us moves. Then he says, low and unsteady, "They found the van. The men who took you, they're dead, burned. Someone wanted to erase it." His eyes meet mine. "This wasn't random, Amara. It was connected. I don't breathe." "To you?" He nods once, and something inside me twists. I knew it. The universe doesn't make coincidences that cruel. "You knew," I whisper. "No," he says, stepping closer. "I suspected, but I didn't know how deep it went. Until it was too late." "Until it was too late," he echoes softly. The silence that follows is heavy, electric. He's standing only a few feet away now. I can see the faint tremor in his hands, the dark circles under his eyes. He's not as composed as he wants me to believe, and somehow that makes him real again. "Amara," his voice cracks on my name. "Why didn't you tell me? About the baby?" I swallow hard. "Because I didn't want to give you another thing to ignore." He flinches. "Don't do that," he whispers. "Don't think I wouldn't have." "You didn't," I cut in. "That's the difference." He steps closer, slow, cautious, like approaching a wounded animal. "I made mistakes. I know that. Mistakes don't bury children, Elias." The words break me as I say them. I turn away, pressing a trembling hand to my mouth, trying to contain the sob clawing its way out. And then I feel it. His hand on my arm. Warm, human, desperate. "Please," he says quietly. "Don't walk away from me again. I should pull back, I should. But I don't. Because for all the hurt, all the betrayal, part of me still remembers what it felt like to be safe in his arms. And that memory, it's a liar, but it's beautiful." His touch trails down, finding my hand. Fingers brush, hesitant, trembling. The moment stretches, soft, dangerous, suspended between forgiveness and fury. "I missed you," he breathes. "No," I whisper. "You missed control. You missed having something that worshipped you." He looks like I slapped him, but he doesn't let go. His thumb grazes my wrist over the faint scar I hide beneath my sleeve. "What did they do to you?" I shake my head. "You don't want to know. I need to know. Why? So you can add it to your guilt ledger and move on." His voice drops, barely audible. "Because I see your eyes now and they don't see me anymore. That undoes me. Completely." The tears come before I can stop them. Hot, shaking, angry tears that taste like truth. "I used to dream about you coming for me," I whisper. "Every night. I'd imagine your voice, your arms, your promise. I'd tell myself that love meant rescue. But I was wrong. Love isn't rescue, Elias. It's showing up before it's too late." He steps closer, close enough that I can feel his breath against my cheek. "And if I'm here now, Then you're late, I say, voice trembling. But I'm here. The words fall between us, fragile and reckless. His forehead touches mine just for a second. No kiss, just contact. A breath shared between two ghosts pretending to still be alive. I thought I'd lost you, he murmurs. You did, but my hands betray me. They grip his shirt, hold him there, needing something I don't dare name. The world narrows. His scent, his heartbeat, the ache in my chest. His thumb grazes my jaw and I almost let him. Almost. Then his phone rings. A shrill, sharp sound that slices through the moment like a blade. We both freeze. He pulls back, cursing under his breath, but the spell is broken. He answers, voice low, tense. What, now? I'll be there. When he hangs up, his expression has changed, hard again, calculating. Something's happened, he says. Someone's leaking internal files from the company. It's connected to your kidnapping. And you have to go. I have to stop this before it costs you more than me? He stares at me, eyes filled with a war he can't win. Then he turns for the door. Stay here, he says softly. Please. And leaves, again. I sink into the chair, his warmth still clinging to my skin. My fingers tremble where they touched his heartbeat. The city hums below. Somewhere in its depths, the truth waits. Ugly, raw, waiting to surface. And I realize something terrifying. For all my anger, for all my grief, I still love him. But love like this doesn't heal. It burns, and I'm not sure which one of us will survive the fire. The night outside presses against the glass walls of the tower, thick with the city's restless hum, lights flickering like distant stars I'll never reach. Inside, the silence is heavier, more suffocating than any captivity I endured. I can hear the click of his heels on the marble floors before he even enters. Elias, my husband. My stranger, my storm. He doesn't speak. He just stands in the doorway, coat thrown over one arm, eyes dark and burning. His chest rises and falls unevenly, not from running, not from business, but from everything we've left unsaid. You shouldn't have come back, I whisper. You shouldn't have left me waiting, he replies, voice low and rough like gravel cutting across silk. The room shrinks between us, the space measured in heartbeats and regrets. I want to step back. I want to protect myself, but I don't. Not anymore. He moves closer, slow, deliberate, the kind of closeness that once made me dizzy. Tell me everything, Amara, don't leave anything out. I shake my head. I can't, you wouldn't understand. I have to, he says, voice softening, almost breaking. I need to. His words are a challenge, a plea, a blade pressed against the throat of my restraint. I swallow, taste copper in my mouth and let it slip. I was pregnant, I whisper, barely audible. You didn't come, I couldn't let them raise it while you ignored me, so My voice cracks, but I finish. I ended it, the world tilts. He steps back, hand flying to his mouth, eyes wide with disbelief. Pain, rage, and guilt all tangled together. You, what? I don't flinch. I did it alone because you weren't there. And you never came. His hands tremble now, fingers clenching into fists as if trying to hold himself together. Amara. His voice is hoarse, broken. I didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't care. I shout, the words echoing off the walls, raw and sharp. The air between us catches fire. For months we've tiptoed around the truth, skirted the edges of our own agony. Now it spills like lava, unstoppable, hot, consuming. He closes the distance again, slower this time. You think I don't care? His voice trembles with something I haven't heard in years. Fear, loss, longing. Do you have any idea what it was like to watch the world keep moving while you disappeared? I shake my head, bitter and exhausted. I begged for you in silence. And you ignored me. You were too busy building empires to notice your wife being stolen, your child gone. The words land between us like thunder. He flinches, then steps closer until the space between us disappears. I can feel the heat of his body, the taut muscle under my fingertips. His eyes burn into mine, searching, demanding, desperate. Look at me, he commands softly. I do, and in that look I see it. The man I fell in love with. The man I married, stripped of his armor, shaking with regret and grief. You don't have to forgive me, he whispers, voice raw, lips grazing mine, almost closing the distance. But let me try to make it right. Let me be here, not as a CEO, not as a husband who failed, just as me. For once, my chest tightens, every nerve alive. I want to pull away. I want to scream. I want to fall into him. I do none of those things. Instead, I let my hands trace the line of his jaw, soft, trembling. I don't know if I can trust you, I admit. Not after everything. He leans closer, so close I can feel his breath on my skin. Then show me how, he says, voice husky, eyes on fire. I'll wait. I'll do whatever it takes. The tension between us spirals, dizzying, electric. I can feel it in my chest, in my throat, in the ache of every lost month. The air smells of him, cologne, sweat, desperation. I want him. I want the comfort of someone who knows me inside and out, even if he broke me. His hands find mine, fingers tangling. He presses his forehead against mine. I don't care if you hate me, he whispers. I don't care if you never forgive me. I just need you. The truth cracks me open. My knees threaten to buckle. My chest aches with everything we lost, everything we should have shared, every empty night, every silent cry. I need you too, I confess, voice barely a whisper. And then, impossibly, we collapse together. Not fully, not yet. Because the world still demands we hold back, still conspires to keep us apart. But for a moment, just a fleeting, sacred moment, we are raw and human and broken together. A siren blares outside, a reminder that life keeps moving. He tenses, ready to fight the world again. I have to go, he says reluctantly. I nod. My heart aches at the thought of him leaving, but I understand. The danger is still out there, and he carries more than just his guilt. Come back, I whisper. I will, he promises, voice thick with resolve. And he leaves. The door clicks shut behind him, and I am left trembling, heart shattered and alive, fire and longing coiled inside me like a storm, because now, the line has been crossed. The truth is out. And nothing, not kidnapping, not betrayal, not loss, can ever untangle us again. The breaking point is behind us. The reckoning is coming. The city lights bleed into my room like molten gold spilling across the floor, and for once, I let myself watch instead of running. He's coming back. I know it. Not as the man who abandoned me, but as the one who will risk everything to reclaim what he broke. The door opens before I can finish the thought. Claes steps in, late, messy, and raw. No suit, no mask, just him. The man who made me feel alive and terrified all at once. Amara, he breathes, voice trembling. I don't have words. I don't know if I deserve this. But I won't let you go again. I meet his eyes. In them I see months of absence, regret, fear, and desire all tangled together. Desire. I feel it in my chest, a flame that won't die. Even after everything, I step closer, slowly, deliberately. Then don't leave, I whisper. Not this time. Not ever. He swallows, eyes darkening. You're mine, he says. Not possessive, not cruel, but claiming. Not a word about ownership, just acknowledgement that he can't survive without me. I let the tears fall freely now, hot and trembling, because this is more than love. It's survival. It's proof that we can exist again, even in the wreckage of what was lost. He reaches for my face, hands firm, grounding. The touch is electricity, fire, and memory all at once. His lips brush mine, soft, questioning. And then the world collapses around us. We fall together onto the couch, breathless, trembling, hearts hammering like drums in the silent apartment. Each kiss is slow, deliberate, a confession, a promise, a plea. I gasp. Yes, he interrupts, and his hands trace the lines of my body as if memorizing every scar, every curve, every piece of me he failed to protect. Now, here, only this. I let him. We move together with a careful intensity, not rushing, not demanding, but reclaiming everything we lost. The intimacy, the trust, the longing. Every touch, every sigh, every shared breath is a shard of what once was and what could be again. He whispers my name over and over, almost like a mantra, like if he says it enough, the universe will forgive him. I'm here, I murmur against his chest, and I'm not leaving. And this time, he believes me. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time ceases in this room where nothing exists but us. We are raw and human and perfect in our brokenness. Finally, we collapse, tangled together, sweat and tears and heartbeats mingling. My head rests against his shoulder, listening to the steady rhythm I've missed more than I ever admitted. You scared me, he admits quietly. Every day I imagined losing you, losing us forever, and now I see what I let slip through my fingers. I press closer. You let me survive without you, but you're here now. That's all that matters. He kisses the top of my head, and for a long moment silence speaks louder than any words could. I trace his jaw, memorizing the way he breathes, the way he's finally present. I can't promise perfection, he murmurs, voice rough, vulnerable. But I promise this, no more absence, no more silence. You and I, we survive this. Together. I nod, letting the tears fall again. Not sorrow this time, but release. Together, I whisper. And in that embrace I feel it. The storm that once tore us apart is finally spent. The fire that threatened to consume us has burned away the lies, the fear, the absence. We are here, alive and undeniably, achingly real. But then, my phone buzzes. A message flashes. A threat. A name I recognize. A reminder that our ordeal isn't fully over. Elias stiffens, but he doesn't panic. He takes my hand, gripping it firmly. Whatever comes next, he says, voice steady, determined. We face it together. No running. No silence. No more losing each other. I nod again, heart pounding, soul trembling, but safe in the knowledge that this time we are untouchable, not because the world will spare us, but because we will not let it. And for the first time in months, I smile, not bravely, not cautiously, but completely, because I have him. Because he has me. Because love, no matter how shattered, can still rise from ashes. The city hums outside, indifferent and eternal, but inside this apartment, inside this fragile, blazing cocoon, we are infinite. I trace his face one last time, memorizing, claiming. I love you, I whisper, the words both confession and vow. He leans down, lips brushing mine in a kiss that seals the promise. I love you too, he says, voice low, hoarse with everything he's held back for months. And in that kiss, the world finally stops. For a long, sacred moment, it just waits, because we've survived, because we've chosen each other, because finally we are home.